Hello everyone and welcome back. In our previous episode we were able to fix our ship. We haven't tested her just yet. In the meantime, before this episode I decided to do a little bit of farming, get some more resources, mostly sodium and oxygen, and as you can see I got some byproducts. Not super important. I just didn't want to bore you guys with that farming session, because yes, this planet really is very low in oxygen and sodium actually, so took me a little bit, but we should be prepared now. So this episode, the plan is we're going to take our ship for a spin. Let me get in there. And we're going to start building our own base. First, we have to do some testing with the ship. So we're going to fly off. With the W key, you take off. It's kind of strange, this part of the tutorial, because it doesn't really look at the quest log. It just says W to take off, which we did. Really doesn't do much. So you're like, okay, well, what's next? Unless you really go further up, it won't trigger the next part of the mission. Or the tutorial missions, I should say. So we're gonna go up a little bit. And we actually have to go with the pulse engine to get off the planet. And then it shows the system that we're in. Zalazak-ke. And now it wants us to test the ship. So unless you kind of know that you have to go into space, you're kind of stuck here, you're just flying around. It's kind of strange. But, now it wants us to test the boost with the left shift, and it wants us to test the pulse engine again with the spacebar. You have to hold it for 5 seconds and then it triggers. Oh. Actually a little bit low. So there is a message. So we press X, Starship Communicator, press F to select. Incoming transmission. Let's see who it's from. It wants us to identify ourselves. It's that weird creature that the voice is constantly interrupted, so we will identify ourselves. We're not alone apparently. Follow the... and then we don't know, but it gives us coordinates where we have to go to. Simple enough.
Alert. Navigational data received.
Wants us to go there. So the great thing is you can kind of hover over this, and then with the pulse engine it will automatically go to the destination. But we also want to... I'm not sure if I can scan the planet yet. Doesn't let me. So I'll just go there. Some of these trips are quite long. I've seen them well over 1 minute. And when you play solo, you cannot simply go check out your mission or your catalog, because there's a lot of information to be found. I will actually show you that real quick. If you hit Ask Key, so you see the discoveries. So now we know the system that we're in. We also have a catalog of stuff that the elements in the game. Equipment. This is actually influenced by the solo game that I'm playing, where I'm further ahead, so that's why a lot of this is actually pre-filled already, because I think in the beginning you start literally with all question marks. Yeah, there's a lot of information. Also your progress. There's actually 3 races in the game of aliens that we start off with, that we begin interacting with. So you can kind of see all your progress, your quest logs. There's also a guide that will give you advice about certain aspects of the game. But you cannot watch this or read this while you're flying C, because it completely pauses the game. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just... I think it would have been better if there's a specific pause button, and Ask would still keep things going, so you can actually read a little bit while you're flying. So it's There's an approximate location That's where we are right now. It doesn't send you to the exact location because it wants you to test your visor that we created in the previous episode. Anyways, let's have a look here. On the left-hand bottom, it's caustic moisture. There's no sentinels. Sentinels are little drones that are very annoying. And as you can see... Oh, that is a sentinel then. Very strange. I'm pretty sure no sentinels. Either way. This is interesting. These pillars will teach you part of a language. So the Vy'keen is one of the 3 races of aliens that we deal with in the beginning. So if you can read that, it kind of resonates in my mind, and we see shapes and all that things. Looks like the Vy'keen are a very aggressive race, so we'll accept the knowledge. So we actually learned the word Vy'keen, or the Vy'keen word for Vy'keen. Oh, again. I guess these animals don't really like me being. Yep, and that is kind of tricky because this drone, these sentinels, they don't want anything changed about the planet. They don't want you to loot, mine, harvest, kill. And every time you do that, they get a little bit more annoyed to the point where they will attack you. And then that is kind of difficult, especially if I'm not doing anything and I'm being attacked by the animals. So the drone doesn't see it that way. So when we click on the visor now, we have another setting, because this is our old one where we can scan. And if you press the 1 or the 3 key, you can swap between modes. So this is the mode to actually find the location where we have to be. So you can see the yellow. This means I have to go to the right. So we have to run there, but it keeps sending us back and forth. You'll see that. The drone is really annoying. I hope I can kind of shake it. It looks like it's gone now. Yeah, you really don't want to deal with that drone the whole time. Once in a while we click the visor, make sure we're in the right spot. Is this one of those aggressive ones? Looks pretty cool. Has horns and everything. Behavior is timid, so it should be okay. Move in the goo. Got some life support gel, which is for a life support bar, the white bar on the bottom. Sodium, always handy. Oh, and as we know, these plants always have oxygen. So I'll scan it. There's no secondary element on this one. So I'll just cut it off. Hopefully that drone will not come back. Oh, let's check the visor. You have to go to the right, he says. That's probably there. Once in a while I scan, see if there's anything on the path over there. The planet is not too bad. It's a little bit toxic. You can see that here on the left-hand bottom. You see kind of the tox value. But you can also see that it's 5 minutes before my hazard protection is actually run out. So that's not really bad. Now, there's going to be a storm popping up sooner or later, of course, and that will speed that up, but overall it's not too bad. I'm not sure if I have to be here or... Yeah, much about scanning. Ah, great. Let's see what kind of message we get this time. Okay. Somebody left a message, but it's long gone. Let's decipher that message, the signal. Decoding a whole bunch of number 16s. That number is going to come back. No fuel and blah blah blah. Failed to reach station. Has a protection. So he's going to go underground. At least at that moment. So we get a blueprint for the base computer. And for the terrain manipulator. Great. Let's see. Terrain manipulator actually allows you to dig. And then you can also dig for treasure underground. So we're going to install that. We already have the jelly. We need to make 2 carbon nanotubes. Right. Oh yeah, in case you missed it. When you click here, it makes 1. But with A and D, you can increase the amount. As long as you have the resources. Right, so that's what we did. So with the G key, you swap it between weapons. So right now it's this is my mining beam, and this is my terrain manipulator. And it wants us to find copper. So we use our scanner again. And we look for copper. The icon looks like this. But this basically means it's a mineral or metal that you can mine. So that thing looks aggressive. Behavior is warlike. Yes, he already saw me. Great. The mining beam is not perfect to deal with these creatures. Further on you get some different weapons. So I'm looking for these little icons and one that hopefully says copper. And yes, at some points you can be very unlucky. Another animal. It also looks like some sort of a tiger or cat. Apex predator, so that also is very likely going to attack us the moment we get closer. There's a copper deposit. It's quite a ways though. Let's check here. Okay. Yeah, that one is attacking too. So when you use your visor and you see something that you want to go to, you can actually hold the E to tag. That's what I did with the copper, so you can constantly see it, because the other icons disappear as soon as you stop using that visor. I tagged it and makes it a lot easier. Let's see a poisonous plant there. The reach of these things is much bigger than you might. Don't tell me that big thing is attacking me, right? Oh wow. It's not too bad now, but if you have that drone on you, then at this point he very likely would have turned aggressive on me too. As I said, these plants have a bigger reach than you think, so just be careful with them. Okay, we have to fill our hazard protection. Quick menu. Let's get to that copper. This is not exactly a human-friendly planet. So, in order to get the copper, you use that terrain manipulator that we just now created. Let's see. Oh, something's going to attack me somewhere. So, it's pretty cool how it works. Kind of similar to Astroneer. And copper is going to be a vital element throughout the whole game. It's one of the early ways to make what is called chromatic metals, which you're going to need. And I think that's also part of the reason why we are getting this copper now, because it wants us to make the base computer, which allows you to start off with a base. And in order to make that base computer, you have to get some chromatic metal, if I'm not mistaken. And you can do that by throwing the copper into a refiner, which we already have, which is really cool because it's a portal refiner, so we can carry it with us. And we're not burdened by the weight at all. Okay. Okay, I think we got most of it. So just to give an indication, let's see how much we got there. That was 590 copper. Really not bad, to be honest. That's quite good. Right, let's get some more oxygen. I do want to see a lot of toxic plants. That is great. Okay, so now it wants us to use that refiner thing. Let me get to the sodium and pick this up real quick. Oh, again. Wow, this one came actually from pretty far away. Sometimes you hear these loud bangs. That usually means that there is a ship that's coming out of warp. It's an NPC ship that's coming out of warp above you. Pretty cool. Some cool ships. Alright, let's put the refiner down. Love how easy this is. So fuel in there. We got the copper. Where's the copper at? This takes 1 minute 45, so we can actually do something else in the meantime. What is this thing? Like I said, the game is really inventory driven. So you can't just run around and gather everything up, especially not at the beginning, because your bags are going to be full real fast. So I kind of focus on stuff that I can use, like carbon, oxygen, sodium, barite, and ferrets. There's actually really not much going on this planet either. A lot of hostile. Something is going to attack me again. Can I reach that? Okay, great. Well, he's not attacking me because otherwise you would see a red little symbol or sign. I don't want that. I don't think he's attacking me. No. Okay. So this mining and digging, I do that with the what is called a multi-tool. Right now you see that I have 6 slots. It's a level C class tool. C is the lowest. Then it goes to B, A, and I think S. And after that, I don't know if there's anything in multi-tool that is beyond S, or even exists in S. I've only seen A. But yeah, you can get the bigger ones, more powerful, with more damage and more scanner range, and you can mod them all up. And this is really small, so it doesn't allow you to do much. So hopefully at some point we'll be able to buy something bigger. It's almost done, 97%. There must be a ship somewhere here. There you go. Stuff. Let's get that in the suit. You don't have to get the fuel out. It will do that automatically when you pick it up. Right on top you will see that it takes some carbon. There you go, leftover carbon. Now it wants us to find a suitable area and deploy our base computer. It's all well and dandy, but this is not a planet where I'm going to build my base. Most of the animals are very welcoming here. And also it's really... it's not really great on resources. And besides that, it's also toxic. Now, I don't care if a planet is toxic or cold or hot or something, you know, you just use the sodium for that as long as the resources and animal life kind of makes up for it. But in this case, yeah, this is not something that I care much for. In case you're wondering where I'm running, in the north section of my screen, you see a little compass. And you see the little plane icon, so you kind of see where you're going. Or where you have to go, I should say. Yes. I already did. Okay. Oh, we pissed somebody off again. Some sodium. I'll have to say no to that. There's my ship. See, my hazard protection is almost all the way down, but because I get in my ship, it will slowly recharge again, so that saves me some sodium. Now we take off with the W key. Well, what I do is I will go to our system, see if there's a planet that is better suited for our base. So just jump in there. First have a look how many planets are in the system. Oh, it's actually 6 planets. So this one is Antlers Morass. Yeah. So this is the one we're on now. This is the hot planet. This is the toxic planet. Which is not bad. You want those in your system. You also want a cold planet. So hopefully this is a cold planet. Because they all have different resources. Cold planets usually have a resource called dioxide, which you're going to need later on. So let's see. We're going to scan this with the C key. Irradiated. Doesn't sound positive at all. You can see in the middle of the head-up display, the HUD, where the planets are. I really hope I have something that is... well, seeing that there's a frost crystal that grows there, it probably is a cold planet. It's not necessarily bad. I just want to... So we have one planet that's hidden behind this big one. Which one is this? Is that the cold planet again? I don't know. There's a lot of words in this game that I actually do not know what it means. Hemiel. Or Hemel. Heimel. I don't know. I have the impression that it's something to do with cold. Let's just see how cold it is. The great thing is, for your exosuit, you can also buy mods that allow you or make it easier for you to withstand the cold or the heat or the toxicity or the radiation. So that also helps too. So it's not as if you have to find a planet that has none of those things and it's perfect paradise for you. Nah, it's not necessary. So let's dive down here, see what we're dealing with. You see the snow, perfect. Might take a little while for everything to load, or is this really it? Oh boy. Okay, so we're dealing with a lot of stone and hardly any vegetation. Needless to say, that is not great. Minus 64. Crisp. They call that crisp. Intermittent. Flora is intermittent. We kind of saw that already. And yes, there is plenty of minerals. We'll just take this stone, this word. We get another word from the Viking language for interloper. Some loot in there. This might actually be... Let's see how much we get for these animals. 3,000. Okay. This white thing allows you to... We don't need it right now, but it allows you to get your health back up. Those little 3 pluses. At some point you will get more pluses. By the way, the reason why we are learning Viking words is... Let's go back. Oops. You go to the system and you see that the dominant life form on this planet is Viking. That is because in the system itself it's a Viking controlled system. So that's why you learn. You can also have different systems with the GAC, which is an upgrade, for example, or the other ones, Corax, whatever they're called. Not a great planet. Oh. Charge the launch thruster. Okay. Hopefully I can make that. Okay, I need a couple of metal platings. I'll just make 5. And then I'll make 4 of those. See. Okay, this is going to sound really strange. I advise beginning players to put metal plating in your starship. The reason is that when you start warping from planet to planet or from system to system, sometimes you get hailed by somebody who needs help, and they usually need a metal plating. And then they give you a reward if you can help them out. So it's handy to keep some in your inventory either way. So I put them in the stuff ship. Just like microprocessors at some point they want. But we'll get into that. Okay. Well, so far our system is not really... I don't see it friendly. I do need to get some... These asteroids are great. Because they give you several resources. You can get silver, gold, even platinum. But my reason for being here is that tritium. Because you need tritium as a fuel for your ship. Let's stockpile some of that. Let's see, there's a planet on, little brown planet. I'm not sure if we've been there. That might be that one where we came from. Either way, it doesn't look positive. It's not something that is going to be very friendly to us. We've got sun. Okay, let's see. What's this? Oh, I didn't hover over it, so my scanner is recharging. Okay. Abandoned. Yeah. We'll go there. But something tells me that there might not even be life. Maybe one life form. We'll see. See, it would be great right now if I could go to the catalog or the guide or read up on something, you know, but I can't. The moment I press ask, the whole game is paused. By the way, I do want to check, because the game is normally multiplayer standard. Multiplayer is enabled. Invite only. Because you can create groups, and I don't do PvP. Nobody can build on my base. So you kind of want to change that, because otherwise you have people building. Well, the chances of meeting anybody early on is really small. But if you don't want a PvP, then make sure you turn it off. Sufficient fuel. That's why we got that tritium. It doesn't even fill it up all the way. Oh, let me see. Is this tritium? Okay. It doesn't really look green, does it? So let's approach upside down. Go wrong. I'm going to be curious to see how much is here. Oh, whoa, whoa. Loaded screen there. Go high. Let's see if there's any life at all in this place. Low atmosphere. Okay. Rather silent. Undetected. There's nothing happening at all here. Just minerals. Well, can I do anything? Yeah. Oh, I'll scan one thing. Leave. 200. So how many plants do we still have left that could form? We have 2 here. This one looks actually pretty decent. This one here. This one looks like it's hot. Well, this looks swampy, doesn't it? But okay, we'll see. So far, I'm not really happy with the planet, at least not for a base building perspective. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Alright. We have to find those two that we don't know yet. This is one of them, I think. No? Oh, this actually looks... Oh, Paradise Planet. Interesting. Paradise is usually good. I say usually. That's an irradiated one. Never planet. Let's get some more tritium because we're gonna need it. By the way, these mine, well, asteroid fields, asteroid belts, sometimes you'll actually encounter NPCs that are mining. They also have a tendency to actually fly in front of you, so you accidentally hit them. And then they turn hostile, or they straight up declare that this is their asteroid field and that you're trespassing, and then they turn hostile. So, it's not a major part of the game, at least I once in a while pick up some tritium and move on. Alright, so we wanna... Did we go to that one? Okay. So this is not... because it says unmapped. Okay, so if you look at the name, we actually discovered the 5th and the 6th one right now, but because we haven't been there, it doesn't show up here. So we have only Luda that starts with an L, so if I go back, see, the Cisco, it's unmapped because I haven't landed there yet. There's an irradiated one, God damn it. And this one is unmapped too, but that's where we're gonna go. Kind of the standard resources: copper, paraffinium, salt. Might be a good planet. And don't let this fool you, it's not like this is all green trees, it's just the outer layer atmosphere. So, it kind of fills out nicely. Is that actually... Sometimes it takes a while to load, especially because I'm clicking the boost button to go down here. This is not bad. It looks nice and green, but I'm looking more for flora and fauna. Oh, this is nice. Oh, nice little valley there. And there's some bubbles. Okay. Oops, slow down. And we drop down here. Looks like a nice spot for a base. I don't know what's up with the bubbles though. Bilious storms. Again, I have no clue what that means. No sentinels. Abundant flora and fauna. What is it? Can I scan this thing? Or is this just for show? Okay. Some kind of butterfly things. Hummingbirds. So the bubbles, I think, are for show. Which... Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Of course, the ferrets are here. Alright, so let's see where we're going to build the base. Oh, that looks really nice and flat there. Besides, we can make it more flat if we want to. Oh, these are actually pretty big. I thought they were small, but no, they are pretty big. Okay, so now we take our manipulator thing. Middle mouse button changes between modes. If you look on the right top, you see this mining right now. Create, flatten, restore. If you mine, you can restore it back to the way it originally was. Let's flatten, and then it will flatten at the level that you're clicking on right now, so it would flatten this. Real easy, real nice. We'll just destroy this all. Hello, welcome to the planet, they say, and just destroy it all. Okay. Making a little base. So. Z, or the Z command. You can actually see there's the base computer. And it needs that chromatic metal. Yeah, let's just put it up there. I'm gonna put it in the base, or inside the building normally. Alright. Lock outpost? Oh no. We can rename that. So the base computer is going to search the big database to see if there's a claim on this site. Nobody has a claim on the site, so this is going to be officially our site. Isn't that great? And it will provide us with some initial building blueprints. I should say construction blueprints. So there was a previous user. It's the same guy again. He's giving us the building plans so we can make some timber structure, which will protect us from dangerous events like storms and stuff like that. Okay. So the moment you put the floor down, it will automatically start triggering one of those events just to show you like, hey, see how this protects you. For now, we're not going to make it too big. Now it will probably trigger it. Put some walls down. There we go. Weather warning. It's nothing serious. Okay. So let's see, because we kind of want to make sure that we can walk in through the door here. This looks good enough. Alright. Where's the door? Outside. Roof is a little bit tricky. When we fly, hopefully I can pick it right. Okay, let's see. Saying that I don't have enough? Oh, okay. Oh, what's that? What the hell? It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Oh, wow. Alright, so the storm is coming. Also, my life support actually need to fill up some oxygen. Hey. Okay, so in the beginning the animals will keep doing that, and now that thing is stuck. Well, I guess we have a new pet. It wants us to go back to the base computer. Yep, you get all these achievements. Base computer, that's new instructions for us, on new blueprints maybe. Okay. So it recovered, the creature recovered some salvage data from nearby. This is actually something that is buried on the ground, and that's you're going to, it's basically kind of like currency that you're going to need to research things. Scan subterranean devices. So now it's going to give us the plans, the blueprint for a research unit, which is great. And then you can actually start researching and, well, new construction items for your base and expand on that. It's really cool. Okay, so what exactly is the storm doing? Ah, it's going to get cold. Right now we're still not affected. I mean, it's... you press H, feel the head-up display. We're still not affected. It's really not affecting our hazard protection at all, so this is not even dangerous for us. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it here. So we built our base at a paradise planet. We're kind of lucky with that one. The next episode we're going to explore some more, continue with the quest. Hopefully meet some more aliens, because that is always entertaining. But for now, I do want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. See you guys next time.